Hi, it's Rachel with Stirring the Deep. We all have a very important choice to make in this life, and that is between life and death. And it's between walking the narrow path of truth or following after the wide, broad path of lies. This choice ultimately comes down to completely being consumed by the Spirit of God, which is truth and righteous love, versus following your own will, which is really governed by all the images and messaging of this world. And you can just see that by looking around. And you can see the messages and the ways of this world lead to death, to pain, to suffering, to hardship. And God's way leads to life, to joy, to peace, to rest. If this is what you really desire, if you really desire fulfillment and a sense of purpose and to feel a joy in your life and a rest, so you're free from worry and fear and anxiety, the path to choose is God. And what I mean by that is taking time out every day, every morning, to sit with God and to learn about Him from Him, to know Him as He is. The religions of this world have totally twisted the image of God. They've created an image of God that's not God. You can't put an image on God. Each one of us has to go seeking to know Him as He is, and He will reveal Himself to us, and He will manifest Himself to us if we desire to seek Him and know Him in truth as He is, and for no other motive. And if you seek Him, if you desire, if you're tired of a life of suffering and pain and hardship and working so hard and never getting anywhere, or getting all that you want and having no satisfaction, no fulfillment, you've been following the ways of the world, and you need to shift to seeking out truth from God. And God has given us the Bible as a guide to be taught to us by His Holy Spirit to lead us on that path of truth into life. Those words bring us to life. They are incredibly powerful. So the path to true life is first taking time out each day to seek God, to know Him as He is, to spend time reading, knowing, and listening. God, who are you? Reveal yourself to me, and He will show you in your life, in your circumstances, through His Word and His creation. And it all has to fit together, because truth is truth, and it does not contradict. Next, when you hear Him and you sense promptings in His counsel, hey, do it this way, not this way, you got to follow it. You got to be obedient in the small things as God starts to guide you. Because if you're not obedient, you're not going to go anywhere. Because that's what this means, walking the paths of life. You got to take one step after the next as He leads you. And He'll lead you perfectly. Because He knows exactly where you are, all that you believe, all that you need to believe, the lies and the truth that you hold at this very moment. And He knows how to put you on that path of life and to guide you every second of every day. The point is, we got to spend time with Him. We've got to tune in. We've got to learn how to listen to Him in the Spirit and hear His counsel, and then we've got to follow it. And then once you start following it, you're going to see the goodness and perfection of His counsel that far exceeds anything else that you've ever heard or learned or known. And that is going to make you want Him more, to where you're going to get to a point where you're going to want nothing else but to be completely governed and directed by God. so that God owns every thought, every desire, every aspect, every word you speak, that you want that to be of God. It's like Jesus said, I came to do the will of my Father. I do nothing except what I see my Father do. Jesus had that kind of a relationship. That's the relationship we're supposed to have, and that's life. When we're so connected to the source of life, that we're constantly receiving that wisdom and that counsel and that guidance, and we're walking in it. And as this happens, you literally become a new creation because you get a completely new mind. You think completely different. Because now, instead of operating by the images of the world and the lies of the world, you're operating in truth. And that's the thing. This journey of seeking God brings you to that choice of choosing God and choosing to be governed by Him in every aspect of your life, in every area, in every way, versus you following yourself, which is really following the images of this world and what this world creates, which is death and destruction, and the lies run deep. But God has given us a way out of this death, out of this hell, and into heaven now in this life. And that is walking this narrow path of truth, being guided by the lamp of His light of the Word and by His Holy Spirit. And through that, we start walking and entering into abundant life. And we're able to walk in God's will because He's helping us do it. It's our spirits communing with His and being united to His. So that's how we're able to walk in His will and to live the life that He calls us to live. It's not our strength, it's His strength. It's Him filling us. It's like our spirits are morphing and becoming one with God. And so that power and all that He is starts to literally run our lives. And despite what most people think is that you kind of lose yourself and become this like non-being entity because it's no longer your own will, the opposite happens. You become more of who you are meant to be because God created each one of us so unique. And when we are walking in Him and He is governing us and ruling our spirits, then we actually become more of who we were created to be. Unique, beautiful, creative. So this is the choice that we all have to make. Do we choose God or we choose this world? And this world does everything to make you think that life with God is somehow less than that this world can offer you, when it's actually the opposite. God offers you abundant life in every possible way beyond your imagination. So that's the path, that's the journey that I laid out. So seek the truth, that is something that your heart's hungering for, and that's the journey, and you will find. Till next time, keep stirring the deep. It's the one thing that changes everything else.